Okay, gonna do a quick demo for my Absolution of Inspiring. The skill is a Fizz damage conversion skill, very similar to Penance Brand. All the gear can be used for Penance Brand. It's 1 AoE in the middle, and then you use the spell Cascade to get the overlaps with massive AoE scaling. We scale AoE with the Flame Golem and with the Forbidden Power jewels, and we have 12 power charges. There's various other tech here, like we get some minion damage here and there. We get minion damage from our Hubris along with the ES per power charge nodes. I'm running a Rune Grafted Blasphemy with Last Rites to get rid of corpses and the porcupines and shit like this. We have 2 Vast Power. These cap out at 50%, so you can only use 2 of them. With Magnifier, Forbidden Power, Forbidden Flame, we are rocking a +1 power charge Sublime Vision with a Watcher's Eye that is doing part of our conversion, giving cast speed and fizzes extra lightning. We want to deal all lightning for the Doriani mark, of course. And then we're just grabbing all the power charges. We have to go in the middle here for some mana cost reduction because we cannot run a Militant Faith for the mana cost reduction. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but the Hubris is simply too good. It got me from 12 to 17 KES or so. We're just tattooing for ES everywhere, and that is pretty much it. I'm gonna do a demo with 5 risk. Let me grab a Deli Orb. So normally I don't actually play risk, which is why I'm a bit unprepared, but I think the map rolls are fine. So we're going to give this a go. Just one deli. This is not my normal strategy. I do have a Whispers of Infinity if I need to, but that is for no regen or whatever might be an issue. I'm looking to sell this build actually because I decided that my next build should be an armor stacker. It's going to be very expensive. So they avoid ailments, which is very bad for my build, obviously, because my defensive layers are based on putting ailments on the enemy, igniting them, chilling them, whatever. So this is probably going to be pretty rough, I would say, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just doing this to display some slightly harder mapping content, because normally I'm just going to do bosses or boxes with this character, and that's pretty much it. I think the prices of doing boxes are so cheap this league, it's insane money. Yeah, it got me 2 mirrors and 4 locks already, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm expecting to get from this map or how it's gonna go, but let's see. It should be fine. As you can see, the clear is extremely good. The explosions are extremely good because we have so much AoE scaling. We are very strong against Fortress boss with the Golem of Safeguarding, which is why I like to do this boss. Not that he even got to hit me there once. Something happened to my aura. Let me fix that. My automation and my discipline is off. Okay, that's a problem. That you can run ES per discipline, per hit with discipline, but this league it's very hard to get other good mods on the Watcher's Eye if you do that. It is definitely a good option though. It does do fairly well in terms of buff your recovery, but in my opinion, I need to be tanky enough to take the occasional hit and AoE effect, but once I start hitting something, it should die unless you're farming extremely juiced unique mobs. So, as far as the progression of the character, I think if I were to keep playing this, The next step is to get a titanium spirit shield, because with one power charge, that would essentially let me ditch Ralikesh, and then I put Onslaught on my boots, whether it be a synth implicit or just a crafted veil mod or whatever it needs to be. And then I could put a Quicksilver Flask. As you can tell, the move speed is the weak point. Well, it's part of the weak point is the move speed, which is why you just see me blink around the whole time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The filter right now is very strict. It's a bit of a loot depression situation when you're not seeing Divines and Valdos, but that's how it is. I could do a box map, but it's kind of fucking pointless to show you guys a map of boxes, to be honest. So, let me see, do I have any boss frags here? Okay, let me get some Maven frags or something. Maven. Okay, that's cool. I forgot how many I needed. Whatever. Just to give you an idea about the... oh, fuck me. Okay, I needed one more. Just to give you an idea about the damage here, I am going to do a Maven. Maybe an Exarch as well. Let's see. Let me grab some Exarch frags as well while I'm here. Exarch. This for some Divines. Okay, that's pretty cheap. We'll do that afterwards. So I have a AG with Garb of the Ephemeral and Kingmaker at the moment, and I have a Doriani Merc with the normal stuff, Malediction Helmet, some minus res, Doriani, Aura effect. Normal stuff, really, I think, at this point. Yeah. What else? Currently there are 3 mirrored pieces, the helm, the weapon, and the ring. The synth ring is obviously very good, and then I have a body armor, Perfectly Divine, that I have self-crafted, that still has the intact Gilded Fossil implicit. So I'm gonna try and hopefully sell this build for... oh shit. Sell this build for around 6.5 mirrors is the current price that I'm putting. So, whoops. I don't know what happened to my Maven. I'm talking and not paying attention. So currently we are crit capped inside the Frost Shield, but outside of that, we are not crit capped. Where's my skill? Here. With the Merc. Okay, what the fuck happened? I am not paying any attention. Dude, I could have sworn it started up there. Okay. Well. And now my auras are off again. Did I do something? Like, what did I do? I don't get it. Well, whatever. I keep fucking this up somehow. Okay, let's try and do the last one just to prove that I'm not a complete retard. Where is she? Okay. Well, as you can see, I'm not much of a bosser. That's how. That's how it goes. What is this? Why is this in my... Oh, because it's a leather belt. Okay, let's do an Exarch. Not my finest moment, but I'll take it. Okay. I'll go over the POB afterwards and show you guys. But anyways. So I can consistently one-phase him, but I cannot consistently one-phase Exarch because he likes to. I mean, sorry, Eater, because he likes to run around and do all sorts of nonsense. Anyways, okay, let's look at the wand. It's terrible. We'll probably just disenchant that shit. Okay, so let me pull up the POB for a sec here, and then I'll show you what's actually going on. So basically the skill scales with minion damage, and we get our minion damage from the Slumlord, first of all. So I have 3 of these ES per power charge nodes, and then I have 1 Slumlord. And we're picking this up. Like, I tried to put the impossible escapes, but it didn't really work out. Because I'm a power charge stacker, I cannot cover up these power charges with the Elegant Hubris, like most builds are gonna do. So I felt like using one of these 2 spots was the ideal play. I ended up using this spot. This is where I found the best jewel, and it also let me path through the AoE nodes to the middle here, although this is optional. I needed this to hit a breakpoint though. So if you go to config here and you see the AoE breakpoint, I am just barely at the breakpoint right now. It's an absolutely monstrous AoE on the Absolution. And then as far as the on-kill explosion, it is very, very big as well, as you can see. And we have the AoE from a lot of different places. So I have AoE corruption on the thread, the unnatural, and the storm shroud right now, on top of AoE from my clusters, even on the suffix here with some attributes in AoE suffix, and stuff like that. We're not grabbing any reservation. The 10% on the body on top of a rune graft of treachery somewhere is enough to, here it is enough to cover the reservation. So what we're doing is actually just not playing with a enlighten at all. We have discipline, which is our only aura. Vol discipline to get the duration, and obviously Vol discipline is just really good for the on-use effect. Whenever you think you might be in danger, just click Vol discipline and you'll most likely be fine. Arctic Armor, Herald of Ash, and Herald of Purity. If I could, I would upgrade this to a +2 duration +1 or a +2/+2 AoE. In any case, you definitely want the +2 duration because everything is duration tagged here. Which is good because it's a fairly cheap corruption to have. This is just a perfectly divine Malachai's loop. I am running Frost Shield and Sigil. What you can do if you want to is to take the cast speed here for each non-instant spell. I personally just use the AoE, but it doesn't really matter. This is not... It's up to you. You can't really sustain, like if you take the cast speed and you just hold down the button, you can barely sustain now. As you can see in the pop, it is 301 mana cost per second, and I have 298. So getting the cast speed would help you in something like a map, but if you were doing simulacrums or something like that, which the build is very good at, then it would not help you at all. So this is really a flex spot though. Like in the pub, you see, I was running boxes, so I have chance to open a box. Runegraft of the Warp is just nice for everything in the game. I'm not going to get into it. You know what it is. It's a nice Runegraft. This node here is somewhat optional, of course. Like right now I need it to hit attributes and to hit the res I want to be at. I am overcapped for blue altar and just exposure on fire res. I should have had slightly more res. It's a bit awkward because the boots give cold res, the mage blood gives cold res, and the gloves give cold res with Alva mod, so I have like a ton of cold res, but I'm struggling on the others a bit. I thought about doing the what's it called, melding, but the socket pressure is too high. Like, there's no way to fit it. Storm Shroud, like there might be a way of getting rid of Storm Shroud, but still I need more than just getting rid of Storm Shroud to make it happen. This cluster might look a bit weird, but actually you cannot get Primordial Bond and any other really useful notable for this build at the front. Thus, I just fractured the Primordial Bond, and I got 8 in 12 ES, luckily, on like one of my first rolls, so that was very, very, very nice. This cluster you don't necessarily need, though. Like, if you really wanted to go in a different direction, you can get rid of this cluster and put it in here. I would not get rid of this, though, personally. I think the build lacks flat ES, right? Like, you get a lot of 8% increased ES, as you can see, from the Elegant Hubris especially, and from the Light of Meaning, but we lack flat ES. There is the tech here with the Runegraph to Blasphemy to remove corpses. I do think this is very important because we have, talking about the Ascendants here for a sec, because we have Shaper of Winter, which reduces damage against chilled enemies, and Flames, which sort of does the same for ignited enemies. We are somewhat weak to things or mobs that we cannot inflict ailments on, right? So that's sort of the problem. I found myself dying to porcupines a lot. I used to actually run a cremator large cluster, but then I saw this node and I was thinking about how to actually fit this node. I tried playing around with this rune graph. It seems to work very well for me. I really like it. I love this thread of hope that I need anyways to sort of make use of my Elegant Hubris. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I will be selling this build. I have an alt character with, well, most of the armor stacker stuff, but I was kind of hoping to expedite the process of getting that character going. Although I really like this character, it's probably a little bit rough to get an armor stacker off the ground whilst keeping this one around, so I'm looking to see if I can sell it. There will be a price breakdown. Well, I think I have it in the... Yeah, there's a couple of notes I wrote down here. In any case, there's a couple of notes here regarding the pricing and whatever. I price checked it today, which is the 20th. Mirrors are like 10,000, 30 div or so. I wrote 10,000, I mean 10,000, 1,030. I wrote 1,020 here. Whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I do recommend like trying the build, even if you don't want to buy this one. If you try the build, just get a helmet on a lower budget. Get a helmet without conk effect, okay? Like, the conk effect makes it so hard to put this together because you need to scale AoE through the roof to get proper overlaps. If you just don't get conk effect, it's going to be way easier. Craft your own fucking helmet. Try to get it without conk effect. That's going to be way easier for you if you want to do this build. Same with the wand. Like, you do not need the explode. You do not need Wine of the Prophet. Get a +1/+1 wand or scepter or whatever it is. Get a Oriat's End. It's not going to be a problem. This flask is by no means necessary at all. It is good, but it is inconsistent. It's not needed. Oriat's End is 3 divines. Get that instead. It's way better for you in most cases if you are on a budget. Okay. And the build pretty much works. Like, the difference is if you're on a budget, you do not lean into all the power charge stacking, which means no forbidden power, okay? And not this ring. You can use any ring. It does not necessarily have to have a power charge, okay? It's not crucial to the build unless you have forbidden power and conk effect, because you need to overcome the AoE downside of the conk effect. But yes, it's a bit awkward because if I could mirror a helmet just like this without the conk effect, I would. It would probably be better, but this item does not exist, right? So we have to work with what exists. This is an insane item though. This is from Echo Shop and it's like quad elevated. It's absolutely godlike. Um, so I had to get this. I actually had Z-Boob's helmet before this, so... Anyways, I am ranting here. There are some minor things. This amulet is just like the Risk edition, so that would be included in the build, which it's stated. And other than that, if you would like to play Penance, just to touch on that, you would get rid of this Hubris, okay? You would put a Militant Faith here. By default, that's all you need. You put the Militant Faith here, get rid of the Hubris, you have some extra points. With the extra points, you swap out these two clusters for Grand Design Remarkable, and you put another Grand Design Remarkable here. And then you need to go and grab the wheels. So instead of pathing out on the right side, you would path out on the left side of the tree. You would connect over here with Runebinder. You would take Explosive Runes, okay? And you grab 2 of the Brand Masteries for 2 additional brands and brand attachment range. It is very easy to make this build into a Penance Brand of Dissipation. That is what I originally played. I was happy with some aspects of it. I was unhappy about other aspects of it. At the end of the day, this build is an amalgamation of what I used to play, which was the Penance Brand of Dissipation, inspiration from Palsteron's Stormcall build, as well as the video that Jungron did on the Absolution of Inspiring. So, I am a new player myself. I started in Settlers, so I did not know about the skill. That's where I figured what the skill was. I checked the skill, I saw that it had fizz damage, and I'm gonna show you just what I would normally do with this build. I am on the wrong fucking Atlas. Jesus Christ. Let me just go kill the boss. Start my life. I always do this. It's always like I have to burn one map before I fix my Atlas. Having some FPS now while recording. Sorry about that. Well, let me just smack the boss and then I will go and... So for the boss, I just put punishment and then I kill him. That's really the only time I would ever use punishment in this build. Let me get out of here as soon as I can and change the Atlas. And that's pretty much going to be it. There's not much more to talk about, I think, with the build. Hopefully. And if someone wants to buy this build, they can message me. This is my in-game name. Or you can message me in Discord. My Discord name is PKIII. You can message me there. And I'm in a lot of the PoE Discords. The price for this is going to be 6.5 mirrors, essentially. That is not really a negotiable price. Yeah, you can make what you want of the price breakdown in any case. And yeah, this is what I would normally do with the build, though. It is not very shiny. Obviously, there is no deli, because the deli does not affect the boxes. I'm not going to put deli. I have a fairly strict regex because of the screen cancer that makes it a little bit annoying to try and dodge too many effects. So that's how I normally play the game. It's very chill and very rewarding, this league. More people should be doing this at current prices, but anyways. Might not get anything sometimes, but I have gotten 2 mirrors, 4 locks, duped Apothecary, duped Insane Cat, the 2 implicit Mage Blood, a ton of 7 years bad luck. I don't know, the list goes on, and I've only done this for, well, around 10 days now maybe or so. I keep telling myself that it's like the last done, you know, like I don't want to play the strat anymore, but then the game keeps giving me something, and then I'm like, Jesus, the loot is like too good, I can't go do something else. Oops, I buffed the boss with something, don't know what. I'm dead, okay. That's interesting. I don't know what I put on the boss. I was gonna say like a blank fortress boss can pretty much never kill me. And the reason is the stone golem of safeguarding, which absorbs a ton of the physical, of the melee damage, and the boss deals majority melee damage. So, I'm not sure what what happened exactly, or what the mods are here, but apparently I died. That happens sometimes though, to be fair. My build is not super tanky. At the end of the day, I have a decent ES pull, but I have no suppression and I have no avoidance. So, I personally theory crafted ways of fitting it in. I have made block-based variants of this build. I don't think it's worth doing, if I'm honest. Like, if you want defenses, if you want to be able to reliably take consistent amounts of damage, you should play a different Ascendancy, in my opinion. Or a different archetype, I should say, because this power charge stacking archetype, it's a big damage loss. If you want to fit in your block and your suppression or whatever it is, you're taking a serious hit to your damage and or AoE scaling, and it's not that fun anymore. So, I would say the Titanium Spirit Shield and Warlock Boot swap would give you just over 20k ES, which would make you slightly tankier. It would make you sort of weak to charge steal though, which is not a current problem we have with the Ralikesh. So, anyways, that's pretty much it.